Fuentes.
Nick Fuentes.
Nick Fuentes.
Nick Fuentes.
Yeah, Nick Fuentes.
Nick Fuentes.
Nick Fuentes.
Nick Fuentes.
Nick Fuentes.
Nicholas J. Fuentes.
Good evening. My name is Nicholas J. Fuentes. Welcome to the 2014 Speech Team Regional Performance.
Chapter 4, College and Charlottesville, 2016 to 2017. After graduating in 2016, Fuentes made his first move out of his community area into Boston University, majoring in political science and international relations. And this is when Fuentes said he realized how diverse America was becoming.
I get my MAGA hat and I'm all excited about it, and I volunteer for the campaign and everything. And so he wins the primary in the spring of 2016. Convention happens, I think, July 2016. I enter college at Boston University in September 2016. And this is the first time I've lived outside Chicago. I've lived in the same place my whole life. And it's important to impress upon you and maybe everybody like where I grew up. It's like this pocket of America that never changed. It's a baseball town. Everybody's white. Everybody's obsessed with baseball. Everybody's Catholic. So growing up, I'm going to CCD, which is like catechism class for Catholics. Everybody loves baseball. There's an annual parade where you go and eat hot dogs and play baseball. So this is a place that is untouched by, like I said, even though they're liberal, they're not even really progressive. It's untouched by the progressive politics, by a lot of the diversity, even the crime. It's safe, white picket fences. Take a trip down to Western Springs, Illinois. I mean, you'll see what I mean. It's like the land that time forgot. I go to college in Boston, totally different story. Boston's obviously super diverse. It's a lot of young people because it's all schools, it's all universities, and they're all from Asia, all foreign students, and they're all Chinese, they're all from these Asian countries. And there's also, it's a little dangerous. There's a little criminal element, and everyone on the campuses, they're militant left wing. And that was kind of a culture shock. And I kind of realized in that moment, most of the country looks like this now, actually. New York, LA, Miami, the big cities, and most people live in the cities, they all look like this because of immigration, because of left-wing progressive politics. And I kind of said, in that moment, my slice of America that I grew up with is a dying breed. It's literally going extinct. And I like my upbringing. I love my upbringing. I want to, if I have a family, I want to raise my kids in a place like that. But in 50 years, will there be places like that? The country's going to become majority minority in the 2030s. So when I'm old and gray and I have grandkids, what is the country they're going to look like?
It was during his freshman year that he began broadcasting short political commentaries online. In 2017, while still a student, Fuentes attended the infamous Unite the Right rally in Charlottesville, Virginia. He later claimed he went to protest the removal of Confederate monuments, not to support white supremacist ideologies, but his attendance placed him at the center of national outrage.
To be entering Boston University for my sophomore year, but in response to recent death threats and threats against my physical safety, I decided that might not be the best idea. When you start receiving death threats to the extent that I have, it just becomes a liability to my brand, to my academic success and everything else when you do have to worry about people ganging up on you or whatever. It's disturbing to me the level of hate that people have been able to express and been able to feel against someone they've never met, never saw, never had a conversation with. They say that we're the hateful ones.
After receiving backlash and what he described as threats, Fuentes withdrew from Boston University. He returned to Illinois, completing an associate degree in the College of DuPage. The Charlottesville episode marked a decisive break from mainstream conservatism and propelled Fuentes towards the far-right online ecosystem. Chapter 5. America First, the streamer era from 2017 to 2019. Back in Illinois, Fuentes launched his nightly live stream America First with Nick Fuentes in 2017. Broadcast initially on YouTube and later on platforms like DLive, the show mixed politics, culture, humor, and provocation. He attracted a dedicated following of young male viewers, fans who called themselves Groypers, a note to an internet meme derived from a cartoon frog. Fuentes positioned the Groypers as an insurgent youth movement inside conservatism, challenging what he saw as weak and compromised conservative Inc. In 2019, the so-called Groyper War erupted. Fuentes and his followers heckled mainstream conservative speakers like the late Charlie Kirk of Turning Point USA and Ben Shapiro, accusing them of selling out to liberal ideas. These confrontations thrust Fuentes into media headlines as the face of an emerging alt-right 2.0.
I remember you kicked me out there too. I probably did. Or maybe it was Dallas, I don't remember. Ben, it's great to see you. Why did you give a 45-minute speech about me at Stanford and you won't even look at me? Come on, I'm right here.
I say, if you truly believe in open debate in the marketplace of ideas, will you ever be willing to debate Nick Fuentes, or will you wait until his movement forces you to adopt his talking points, as we've seen already?
You know, it's funny. I personally do not give a platform to bad faith actors.
Chapter 6, AFPAC and the Quest for Legitimacy, 2020 to 2022. Remember, this is when Nick Fuentes' deplatforming is really intense. In 2020, Fuentes founded the America First Political Action Conference, AFPAC, a self-styled alternative to the Conservative Political Action Conference, CPAC. AFPAC gave a platform to nationalist and far-right figures banned and excluded from mainstream venues. Despite the platforming from YouTube, Twitter, and major payment processors, Fuentes' influence grew through alternative streaming services and grassroots donations. He participated in Stop the Steal rallies after the 2020 US election and advocated for Donald Trump and spreading election fraud claims. This brought him under the attention of federal investigators, though he was not charged with any crime. Fuentes' online footprint now represented a paradox, banned from major platforms, yet highly visible within the digital right. 7. Dinner at Mar-a-Lago, 2022. On November 22, 2022, Fuentes accompanied Ye, Kenya West, to Mar-a-Lago for a private dinner with Donald Trump. The meeting, later leaked to the press, caused political uproar. Both Fuentes' antisemitic record and Ye's own controversies drew bipartisan condemnation.
He's a rapist. He has dinner, his lunch with white supremacists, which I guess you're in that myth, that straw man. But he didn't know he was meeting you, did he?
No, yeah, I guess that's the biggest misconception is everybody has a different idea about it, which is that we set Trump up to take him down. The left thinks that Trump invited us to signal how racist and anti-Semitic he is. But in reality, so that happened the Tuesday before Thanksgiving. This was November 22nd.
What year?
22. So I actually met Ye for the first time the previous Thursday. So just 4 or 5 days before. And when I met him, he already had that meeting scheduled. That had been scheduled long in advance. And he was already like a Nazi at that point. When we got there, he was drawing us and like he was already about it. People said, I made him that way. He was in it. And it was a last minute thing that Monday night, he said, do you want to go with me to the dinner? And I said, yeah, of course. And even so, then we flew out the following morning to Florida to go to Mar-a-Lago. And we hadn't even decided on the plane if I was actually going to come to the table and eat with them. It was still undecided at that point. We got there an hour late for reasons. It's a long story, but we got there an hour.
You're with a black person. That's why.
It wasn't his fault, though. It was actually
somebody
else's fault.
Beetlejuice.
That's yeah.
Voldemort.
That's right. Yeah. But so we got there late. We sit down. Trump walks through the dining room and shakes Ye's hand, shakes I think he shook our hands. I don't really remember.
Did he know who you and Milo were?
Milo wasn't there.
Oh, who was the other guy?
It was me, this guy Jamar, who was a Donda Academy engineer. He's black, so I don't know what that means,
Means he drives a locomotion.
And Karen Giorno, if you know her, she's tight with Susie Wiles, they actually had a falling out, but.
Yo, I'm here with my white supremacist homeboy, Nick. We back.
Blacks are overrepresented in violent crime. But when you meet an individual black person, you don't apply that. You start with a fresh slate every time you meet someone. Do you do that with Jews?
Nope.
Meeting of the mindless at Mar-a-Lago. We learned on Friday that Trump had dinner with Kanye West and a white supremacist / Holocaust denier named Nick Fuentes.
Podcast that the dinner was historic, saying he sought to recenter politics around Christian and national values. Trump later distanced himself, claiming he had been unaware of Fuentes' reputation. This episode marked Fuentes' highest profile national exposure and the moment mainstream conservatives fully repudiated him.
So I'm on a no-fly list.
America First founder Nick Fuentes put on no-fly list.
It's a part.
Chapter 8. Controversy, Crime and Isolation.